everybody, this is Leslie, and yes, I have sunglasses on. I am sitting in the parking lot at work, and since I'm waiting for somebody to show up so we can go in to start our day, I decided I'm going to talk about my food addiction and my issues with losing weight. I have been overweight my whole entire life. I have been overweight since I think I was about 5 years old. There was a time in my life where I was able to lose some weight. I had gotten down to about 158 pounds. I was wearing like a size 12 junior. And this was probably back in it was in the 90s. I definitely know it was the late 90s. Basically, what I had done was exercised a lot. I know I had been doing Richard Simmons, because if anybody remembers Deal-A-Meal, I had done Deal-A-Meal. And literally, I think I was in a gym 6 days a week. I don't know what the trigger was for me back then, but somehow something back then clicked. I had gotten that far down. I said to myself, I will never be fat again. And basically, I don't know what happened. I don't know if I used excuses for the death of my cousin. I have no idea what it was. I don't know what the trigger was. But needless to say, I am back to about 318 pounds again. I have not seen the 200s for, well, let's say mid 200s, since I got married and started living with John. So you're looking at the early 2000s. When I got married, I was about 260. And I don't know, I don't know what it is, but my demons are deep. I had gone for therapy. I was doing good, or I was doing a little bit better, but the demon always comes back. My problem is binge eating, and it's mindful binge eating. I don't know why I do it. I'm not even usually hungry. I will think nothing of just going to a place, order food for like 3 people, and basically eat all of it. And my boss is just coming in, so we'll continue this later on, so the atmosphere will be different. All right, I'm at work. I am on my lunch break, and I have my phone kind of propped up against something. As long as nobody comes into the lunchroom, we should be good. I just wanted to continue on with what I started saying first thing this morning. And also to go back to what I had said about mindful. It's not mindful, it's mindless eating. So my eating is mindless. I try and do it very quickly. And sometimes it's not even that. Sometimes it's just, I just don't think about it. I don't think about how much I'm consuming, what I'm consuming, what's going to actually happen, how I'm going to feel afterwards, because you just don't think, basically. You just eat and eat and eat. And the amount of food that you can consume sometimes is just sickening. So if anybody's ever dealt with this, it's not good on your psyche. People wonder why I get cranky, why I have issues with my mood swings. I'm constantly fighting the demon inside me. And when you've dealt with this type of an addiction, yes, there's different things that you can do to actually just stop. Just like if you had an alcoholic addiction, like if you had an addiction to alcohol or cigarettes or whatever the case may be. Mine is carbs. So keto is definitely where I need to be and I need to do. Sometimes I think I I I falter because I don't want to lose the weight. I don't want to be noticed. I don't want to be looked at, because when you're overweight, people kind of don't really look at you. I mean, they do, but they don't look at you in a certain light. I don't know how to explain this, but I did find something out when I was going to therapy, and I did find out that for however many years, I have a fear of men. I am married, divorced, but kind of together again. That's a long story. But it's not that I don't like men. I do. I'm not gay in any sense of the meaning. But something I think stemmed from my childhood, that I had discussed with my therapist. And I think it just caused something in me to not want to be noticed. But that's just one part of it, and that's from, I think, a long time ago. So the whole eating thing, I used to go, I'm an only child. My father, I think, has the same addiction that I have. We would escape, him and I, when I was a child, together to go out, and every time we went out, it was for food. McDonald's, Carvel, Burger King, any type of hot dog place, anything. That's where him and I would go together. And a lot of it, I think, for my father was to escape my mother. My mother and I have never had a good relationship. And my mother is very hard to deal with. And so I think my father, that was his escapism as well for him. But when you have an addiction, and I hear everybody who goes and has like the sleeve done, they have the surgery for, for their weight loss. They make you go through a whole series of where you have to see somebody, you have to talk to somebody, because if you have this addiction, you're going to end up going right back to where you are. And that's why all these years I've lost weight, gained it, lost weight, gained it, lost a lot of weight, slowly started to gain it back. The sad part is I know what I need to do. But for some reason, I feel like there's a fear. I feel like there's a fear in me that doesn't want to be skinny. I mean, is that a thing? Has anybody else ever felt this way? Maybe I don't want to be happy. I'm in so much pain. Like today, my back is killing me. My knees hurt. My ankles are swollen. I have tendinosis in my ankles. They get very inflamed because the weight that I'm carrying, it's just not good. My blood pressure has been up. I'm pre-diabetic. All this is more than enough for one person to say, hey, I need to change this. How do I go about changing this? I know what I need to do to change this. This brings me back to where I don't want to be. And I just don't get my mindset. I mean, I know that the food tastes good. It's, all the carbs and the sugary stuff. I know with watching Dr. Berg and different people that I do watch that do keto related videos, and they're doctors. A lot of it does make sense. But I will tell you one thing. When I had lost about 11 pounds when I had just started again this time with the keto. I was noticing my belly was starting to shrink. Or I should say the flap of skin, which is my belly, started to actually shrink. And my knees didn't hurt as much. And there were a couple other things that I noticed, like my ankles even had gone down. They weren't as swollen. Okay. But then I go back to eating all this crap again. And I'm like, you were just starting to feel good, and then you just go back to eating shit. I will tell you this though. When you hear people saying once you come off like keto, there are certain things you're going to notice. When you go back to carbs after you've been eating like a keto form of lifestyle, it could be paleo, it could be any of the other ones. There was a woman that I did watch. I think her name was Christine Keto. I can't remember. But she lives in France. She would talk about how gassy you would be because just everything just makes you so gassy. You're uncomfortable, you're bloated, you're irritable, you just don't feel good at all. I now kind of understand what she was talking about. So I know sometimes people, what they do is, I'm sorry, I have to keep adjusting the phone because it keeps sliding. I know people do say that, like, if they go off keto for like a weekend or something and go back, they do find that they end up with the same feelings. So I can't stand it. I can't stand this. The double chin. This started to come back. This actually just starting to go away a little bit. So I need all the help I can get. John and I were in, I think, BJ's, and, I'm looking at this and I'm looking at that junk food and that junk food. I'm like, all right, well, and he said to me, well, why don't you just start, because this is a rough time of the year for me, always. You've got Halloween, which is a big holiday for me, and then just Christmas in general, because you have Thanksgiving, you have all the eating holidays. Let's just put it that way. So, but, I'm sitting here as I'm thinking about the binging that I've done in the past week and a half and just stuff that I've eaten. And I'm like, you know what? I could be eating this keto food, and it's real food. I just take off the bun. Just, if you have the hamburgers, just don't have the other stuff. I think in my head, it's just, I feel like I'm missing something. If, I don't know, for some reason, it's like, will I feel deprived? Do I feel deprived because I can't have the bread? I can't have the bagel. I love bagels, and it's like, I can do without bagels. There's different ways. I'm supposed to buy a waffle maker so I can do those new quaffles or whatever chaffles or whatever everybody's doing. I can use that. There's so many different ways that you can make bread, but the problem is I'm lazy. I don't want to take the time, and a lot of it too is, I'm not going to say it's all weight related because it's not, but because of the weight, I can't bend down, I can't kneel, I have a hard time, I can't clean, I have a hard time cleaning because I can't bend. It's just hard, but there's certain things that I can do to make it easier, like food prep. And I don't know what it is, but I find it hard for me to do these things. And like I said, I know I'm lazy, but, food prep is not that hard. And I don't understand why I'm having such an issue with having to do this. And I had talked to a friend of mine, and she's been dealing with, the same issues where, we're very heavy, and, it's hard to lose weight. It takes a long time. It takes a lot to get your head around what you need to do. and her name is Missy Reynolds. She has a channel called Do What You Love, and her and I were kind of chatting, and we said I think maybe come January, we're going to try and do some kind of keto collaboration. But I had told her, I said, I'm even embarrassed to even go on YouTube to say I failed yet again. I constantly fail. And she said, no, go make a video. People are going to like the fact that you're real. You're saying what kind of issues that you're having, and people will relate to that. So this is why I'm doing this. Because you start looking at yourself as being a failure, whether you like it or not. I don't want to say that I feel that I am, but psychologically, yeah, you have it in your head. You know, I think to myself, I'm like, you've tried this how many times, and you can't stick with one thing? You can't stick with one thing for your life. You did this before. What's the problem? How can you not do this? There's a reason why you're not doing this. So, I'm not waiting to the beginning of the year. I'm going to do this again. They tell you you're not supposed to, you're supposed to start it ASAP. I can't, because I have to get the proper foods and stuff in the house, and I have to meal prep. So since I'm working Saturday, I only work half a day. So I need to get the food that I need for the week. But since I'm working Saturday, I have half a day. I can actually go after work and pick up some stuff, and then food prep for Sunday, so I can start on Monday. I'm probably going to be doing dirty keto, which is what people call it in the very beginning. There are some like keto bars and stuff that I would like to try and order for myself. And hopefully, you know, I won't have the issue of when I'm hungry, because when I'm hungry, or I think I'm hungry, a lot of times I'm thirsty. It's not even, so I need to drink the water. It's not even a matter of me really being hungry. It's just dehydration. And so a lot of the times I will try and just drink the water and let it wait like 5, 10, 15 minutes and see if the so-called hunger pangs go away. And if they do, I know it was just the water. So I am going to see about trying again on Monday. And I will make a video Monday evening, let you know how my day went. I will show you, if you want, what I made, and if I may try and do what I've seen other people do. And I just don't know how I'm going to shoot it in my kitchen because it's small. But I can try and see about doing some kind of meal prep videos down the road. And so again, starting again. So I'm going to start on Monday, and we're going to go from there. So I will keep you informed on how I'm doing. I know I kind of fell off the wagon, and like I said, I was embarrassed, so I didn't make any videos. But here I am in the raw. And if there's anything else that I think that I can kind of share with you guys, I'll share it along the way when I make another video. Okay? But I hope this is kind of help. Maybe I can help somebody else that's going through the same things that I'm going through. I mean, I know, like I said, sometimes I really feel like, you know, such a failure, and you just don't feel worthy, you know. But I have so many issues in my head sometimes that I just wonder, you know, what's causing the reason for me to just constantly be fat and miserable. You know, there's no reason to be fat and miserable. I can be happy, and sometimes I think, do I not want to be happy? So I hope this helps somebody that's in the same kind of predicament that I am with their weight. And like I said, I think I've had this food addiction since I'm like 5 years old. So I will see you all in the next video. My lunch time is almost over, and I will talk to you then. Hopefully everybody has a great rest of your day, and have a great week. Bye everybody. Thank you for joining me. Take care.